My name is Shallom Oni. I am a medical doctor by practice. I'm also a coach, a trainer, a public speaker, an author, and I'm married, happily married with kids. My first ever big idea was while I was in the medical school about 15, 17, 18 years ago. And I conceived the idea to start a Carson club because I just finished reading Carson book, The Gifted Hands. And that time I was a medical student. And I also read that some folks in South Africa already kicked off with Carson club, and they were looking forward to the visit of Carson. That time in medical school, Carson is like the major figure, in neurosurgeon, just separated, a Siamese twins, joined at the head, achieved a feat that people have not really achieved in the medical world. So to be linked with Carson, to want to start a club for him, to want to use that club to motivate other medical students and other people who are non-medical students to see how they can achieve, their dreams and live up to the ethics, the values that Carson represents. So that was my idea then. So I called some friends, junior colleagues, called them together. This is my idea, and they were so excited about it. We started going, we gave ourselves portfolios and things like that. We were having meetings. Then at a point in time, I think I tried to mail Dr. Carson, and let him know about our intention and the things we wanted to do on his behalf, So, but at the point in time, the challenge of medical school came, and the drive, the motivation started going down, and before you know it, I couldn't achieve that dream. But that was my first ever big idea because I saw it big. I felt yes, one day Carson was going to come to my medical school in Nigeria, and I'm going to be the privileged president of the club, Carson Club, to host him. That I saw it as something that was going to pull crowd, that was going to inspire people. That's it's going to touch lives. So, but then unfortunately it didn't happen. So, but then I was proud of the idea. Even till today, when I think about it, I just laugh. But then it was something worthwhile. Well, my greatest idea ever, I will date that to 3 years ago when I started a program. I call it Survive, Succeed, Stand Out, popularly called S3. I think I just looked around me and looking at my background, looking at where I was coming from, going by the things I've experienced, and going by all the challenges that an average African face, I came up with that idea of S3, Survive, Succeed, Stand Out, because I discovered that a lot of people are, trying to make ends meet, trying to, fulfill what they are actually supposed to fulfill, their dreams, their purpose. In fact, not only that, quite a whole number of people, about 2/3 of Africans, are even grappling to survive, first of all, talk less of even being successful and becoming outstanding in their generation. So that passion gripped me. I felt, what can I do to help an average African youth, an average African child out there, to realize their dreams, to become outstanding in life. I've read stories of several people who rose to the top despite their privileged background. So it was a big idea for me. It was the biggest idea ever for me. And without wasting time, I just moved straight away to the social media. I started pulling out articles, write-ups, did some vlogs through the help of partners, that came to support my vision. And before you know it, I started reaching out to thousands of people on social media. People see me while on the road in a place. Oh, we love what you are doing. Oh, you inspire me a lot, and things like that. And from there, we moved, from just reaching out to people from social media to having live conferences. and impacting people, seeing people coming for the conference and say, wow, I'm inspired, now I'm challenged, and things like that, helping people, the youths, to see what they can do. We actually focus on the aspect of talents, to see what people can know about themselves, the abilities they have within themselves, the capacity they have within themselves, to see how they can discover it, how they can sharpen it up, and how they can use that, to fulfill their dreams. So it was the biggest idea for me, because for the first time I found myself hosting a conference that I was speaking to over hundreds of people, and the support has been amazing. People coming to support. I have partners, like Ruggedboots Multimedia, like some philanthropists who came around and just donated things. Some people just taking care of the logistics. This was an idea, that I never knew was just going to go this big, but I've enjoyed support. So this, for me, this is the biggest idea: impacting people, inspiring people to fulfill their dreams, to pursue their career, not to give up, to see how they can rise above the challenges they face as an African. Because honestly, we can't compare ourselves with what goes on in developed nations. There are a lot of things an average African battles with, especially the system and the environment, that does not empower them to fulfill their dreams. So for me, S3 is the biggest idea I've ever had, and I'm happy I'm at the thick of it, and I'm moving on with it. My worst idea ever. Well, it's a funny one, but then for me, I think it was ridiculous, because it could have affected me a lot in my marriage, and it happened immediately after I got married. Shortly before then, I had preparations on where to settle down and things like that. I just moved down to Lagos, and as a young chap, trying to make ends meet, young doctor, juggling from one job to another. So, but things didn't really pan out the way I was expecting at the dying minute. So, I felt, okay, now that I'm about to get married, but at the eve of my marriage, I didn't even have where I was going to stay. As in, after getting married, where am I going to be living with my wife? So the pressure was so much because I had already made preparations and my preparation failed. So I was like, okay, so maybe I should go back to my family house. Maybe stay with my parents for a while, and before I am able to put some things together, and then I bounce back. That was the first thing that came to me. But at a second thought, having read stories of people, and having understood what I actually want in life, that sometimes you may not have to start big, you may have to start small, so I felt, no, I should be able to do something, even with this disappointment. So thank God, at the dying minutes, somebody came with an offer for me. I said, okay, if you don't mind, can't you manage with your wife at this BQ, the hospital BQ, and things like that. And for me, that was the saving grace, because I felt, well, this is an option, this is an offer. So I grabbed it, and that was how I moved all my things in. And at the eve of wedding, I moved everything in, and that was how I was able to have a place to stay. Otherwise, I would have traveled back from Lagos to Ibadan, and stay with my parents for a while before I'm able to get my bearing and things like that. So we started small, but then today everything is history. We have moved to bigger place. We have lived in better houses, and we are doing fine. My craziest idea ever, which I think I'm beginning to see the flashes of it, of the reality of it happening, even though it might not be in Africa, but maybe in the industrialized world, in the developed world, was when I started working, and I live in Lagos, and Lagos is a very, very busy city, and because of that, I was looking at how to overtake, or how to navigate the issue of traffic that we have in Lagos. So I felt, okay, one day, if I can partner with a group of people, that we're going to have a transportation in the air, such that as people are moving on the road, some other people are also moving in the air, not a plane now, maybe something like an airbus or something like that, that there will be a defined pathway in the air that people can actually move in, and it will aid movement, and the issue of traffic will be a thing of the past. So for me, it looks crazy. That how is that going to happen in the midst of the skyscrapers we have, buildings that we have, and things like that. But then I think from what is coming up in the industrialized world, I think this idea may just happen one day. For me, that's one of the craziest ideas I've ever had. People moving in the atmosphere. The greatest risk I've ever taken in life has to do with job, working, employment. As a young man, you want to make ends meet, you want to take care of your family and things like that. So at a point, as a medical doctor, I found myself working in about 4 hospitals, and I had to take motorbikes from one spot to another. For example, 8 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m., I'm already in an hospital. By 2:30 p.m., I must be in another hospital with several kilometers away that I have to hop on a bike to get there. After that, I may have to jump on another job again at the close of the day, maybe to do a night shift and things like that. So at a point in time, it was risky for my dear life. Number one, the movement. Number two, not having enough time to rest and to sleep, and to take care of my loved ones. So for me, it was a risk. It was a season of great risk for me, and I think I'm beyond that now. I think I'm better now, and I think I'm doing well. I've moved on. That's not happening anymore. But then it was really telling on my health. It was telling on my relationship. It was telling on people around me. I hardly had time for people. So for me, it was a great risk that I took that time. But I'm happy I'm out of it. Well, one failed venture I've ever embarked upon was 7 years ago when I tried to kickstart a mobile health service delivery. That time I felt I was too young, I was moved with passion. I wanted to reach out to people. I wanted to go to people's houses, homes, organizations to offer health treatment at their doorstep. So it was a lofty idea. I got cards printed, prescription papers also printed in my name. I was able to conceptualize it that I'm going to be maybe you're going to be first of its kind, to be a doctor that will be available for people, reach out to people here and there, to be able to treat people, on demand. So I kicked off, but at a point in time, I couldn't catch up with the idea. I couldn't meet up with the idea because other legitimate responsibilities started creeping in from family, then from other places where I was working. The jobs came up, and I couldn't have time for this side hustle, so to speak. So the passion came down, the drive came down, and before you know it, I couldn't meet up. So for me, lessons learned, first of all, that time my family was young, so I felt, I didn't need extra income. This is just a passion that, I'm going to be fine with the jobs I have already. I wasn't really thinking about entrepreneurship that time because I felt I was too young for it. I felt, I don't need the money right now. I felt I'm okay. That time, I think I had a kid or two kids, and they were young, they were babies. So I felt, I'm okay. But now, looking back, I felt I should have pursued that dream. I should have moved in. I should have asked for more info. Then another thing that really also cut the dream short was I didn't have enough information. I think some people have done something like that. I should have just moved closer to people who have done something like this before, ask questions, and see how to kickstart, to do that patient pooling. So for me, that was another thing I learned from me. Any adventure you want to, embark upon, you need knowledge, adequate knowledge, especially from people who have gone ahead. So I think that was another thing that also I learned from it. Ideas that are taking my time, my energy, taking everything about me, my resources. The first thing is my medical practice, consulting for governmental and non-governmental organizations as a public health expert. getting involved in health promotion, disease prevention, immunization campaigns and things like that. That's really taking a lot of my time right now. And also the second thing is my project S3, Survive, Succeed, Stand Out, which I do reach out to people on social media, hold live conference, write books and things like that. It's also taking a lot of my time. Wake up in the middle of the night to do all this stuff, put up articles, write a blog and things like that. Then the third one is my public speaking, trying to reach out to people, organization, to put up with appointments to speak, to a group of people, to an organization, in churches, in social events, public speaking as far as health, faith, and life purpose, fulfillment, dreams, and success is concerned. So those are the three things that are taking a lot of my energy and time right now. I would like to meet with the President of America. If it is Donald J. Trump, I would like to meet with him, have a dinner with him in White House, and see what I can contribute to the American economy, and how I can also contribute my quota to development across the world. So Donald Trump, maybe the second person, which I think maybe the Prime Minister of UK could be second person, but then I think Donald J. Trump in the nearest future. I would like to retire from active service at the age of 70. It is funny, but then I think as an entrepreneur, and I think by the way I've planned myself and planned my future, and with what I'm doing currently, I see myself still actively running my business, actively working, doing my consultation for governmental and non-governmental organizations till I'm 70. So even though at that time there will be a lot of structure, systems, more people working in my team and things like that, but then I think at 70 I like to call it quits, enjoy all my investments, and all my labor from 70. Well, I'm Dr. Shallom Oni. I'm a bounce back coach, trainer. I'm also a medical doctor. I'm particularly involved in disease prevention, health promotion, and I'm also a public speaker. I think that I am that doctor that you need to speak with when it comes to managing your health and your faith together. There are a lot of issues out there with people dying, falling sick, just because they have one-sided view of how to apply their faith to their life. But as a doctor and a public health consultant, I can put you how to balance your health and balance your faith to ensure that you live long, you live healthy. Also, as a motivational speaker, you need to hear me speak to move your business from what it is right now to where it's supposed to be. I'm that person you need to speak to. I'm that person you need to consult so that you can realize your dreams. You can move from survivor into success and from success into standing out. My favorite book is 48 Laws of Power, and I think the reason why it's my favorite book is because it's a book that will help you to preserve your relationship with your superior, with your colleague, and with your juniors. So for me, it's a book for all. I believe anyone working in an organization, or you're in politics, or you're in the sector, in any sector of life, you need to study that book and pick the good things that have been said in that book. I think it's a great book. So a popular quote from that book is "Never outshine your master," which is very, very, very important. If you understand this book, you preserve your relationship in your organization, you preserve your relationship with your mentors, you preserve your relationship with those who have gone ahead of you. So 48 Laws of Power, though a lot of things have been said about the book, but then I think the book is what's wild for me. Never outshine your master. It's a popular quote in that book, and I think it's good for everyone. My favorite mobile app is my KJV, King James Version Bible app. Why? It enables me to read my Bible while I'm on the road. While I'm doing some other things, I can just open, flip through, study a particular scripture, meditate, get inspired, get motivated, solve certain challenges, get answers to things, I'm expecting answers from. So for me, that's my favorite mobile app. I am available online through my website, shallomoni.com, or you email me at oshalom1@gmail.com, or you find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Dr. Shallom Oni, Shallom Oni. I'm there on social media. Offline, I'm not really available offline. You have to book an appointment with me online to be able to get in touch with me offline. I believe all the things I've shared with you today has been helpful, and you have picked one or two lessons from that. I really appreciate your audience. Thank you very much. God bless you.